And good morning. Hold on, let's see. Hey Jack, can you give me the egg bowl? It's on the counter. So we're gonna go ahead and do a few things here this morning. I don't have much time, but I thought I'd do a Saturday morning live stream, see if anybody jumps on. We're just gonna do an abundance check, basically. And we're also gonna plant a few things. I've got a couple pineapple heads that I used for drying some pineapples. I also have some compost we're gonna put out there. Been eating lots of eggs. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, so first thing, we're gonna get eggs. Now I'm still hooked up to Wi-Fi. I think I'll switch over. Hey, Palm Nation. You're here to steal my palms. Okay. Untethered. Hello, hello, my little Florida permaculture hens. Oh, you are? Definitely doing everything you need to do. I heard them this morning. I actually had a crazy experience surfing this morning and flying the drone. I saw more sharks than I've ever seen, ever. Stay tuned for the video on Surf All Day A1A. I got a feet flock happening. All right, let's see. We just recently cleaned out the hen house. Switch the bedding. We're getting on a schedule now. All right. You think I have treats, right? You think this bowl? I know what you think. You think this bowl is treats. Yeah, it's not treats. Ooh. Oh, interesting. All right, let's check. Let's check. All right. My wife is telling me I should remove the golf balls. Oh wow, you gained subscribers. Nice. Oh, why three nesting boxes? And yet they all lay in the same box. That's a beauty. That's a barred rock egg for sure. It's a healthy looking one. I think this is the darkest one. I think that's our blondie chicken's egg. Another beautiful. And another barred rock egg. You can tell these are a little smaller, a little lighter color. Certainly a barred rock egg, but still nice. Yeah, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm still in my board shorts from surfing this morning. All right, let's see. That's a beauty. That is a real beauty. All right, well, that's 5 eggs to start the day. Every hen is represented. Yeah, trying to make the video to offend, yet it has the opposite effect. All right, here we go. What that is. Lizards get in there? I don't want that. Gee whiz. These hens are getting awfully vocal. All right, so that's the first thing. Is the egg harvest. Now the next thing is to plant some pineapples. We're going to plant them over in the vertical planter, which is over in the corner there. Okay. Now I let these sit in the water for too long. This is what always happens. I end up drying them in the evening and then I throw them in water to keep them somewhat fresh, but I don't think they even like that much. But if you don't plant them right away, you can start to get, almost, the center ggets rotten on these pineapples. See, this one's still okay. But, yeah, I don't know that it helped it much, really. We're just gonna put it right in here. I've already prepared this area before, but the whole process for planting them is just, I just kind of drill them down in there and then pack around the base with a fork. That seems to do the trick more than enough. One of the health checks I always do on these pineapples is to look in the center, see if it's still green. And you'll see in this other one, that one still looks like it's okay. You'll see in this other one, it's not the case. I already pulled out the center. It's kind of almost like a rotten deal now, which is not what you want. Now I'm gonna do something, just put it there temporarily. I'm gonna do something here that I don't typically do, which is I'm not gonna even bother removing that mint from there. I'm just gonna go ahead and plant it right in the center and just drill it out. All right, let's get it. I'm gonna go non-conventional, busting out the serious tools. Okay, this morning when I got to the beach, I'm gonna pick the least healthiest of them, or I've got to get these carrots out of here and feed them to the buns. I don't know that I want to go that far. Another option is I could put them up top. I could put another one up top. I hate to put one that kind of looks like a dud on the top, so the best option here probably is to plant it in the sickliest looking mint. All right, let's do that. All I really want to do is just make a divot in this. I don't need the mint to go away. Now, keep in mind, I'm showering this with the bunny manure, so it's gonna go off regardless. Oh, you got pineapples growing as well, indoors? The indoor pineapple. I think that's a great choice if you give them enough light. All right, this one is not my strongest candidate, for sure. But I have faith it will grow once we start feeding it manure. Just want to make sure that it's deep enough down in there that those roots can start to touch that soil. It'll actually like to dry out a bit. I don't mind the mint also being in there. All right. Well, it's starting to fill out. No doubt about it. I like the look of that. All right, we'll use this gross water to fertilize it on. That might have been a mistake. All right. Oh, the yard's looking so good. All right, and the third thing is going to be this compost, and I think we'll go ahead and give some of it to the bunnies. Yeah, and give it all to the chickens. Give those bunnies some carrots later. Here you go. Here's an apple. Ooh, they like that apple. All right. Soil health is really improving. If I put a shovel into the ground just about anywhere, if there's been any water at all in that area, I almost always find worms now, which is an amazing advancement. The stuff that I just gave them was a new piece, but this stuff's old and gross. Ugh, it's got mold on it. I waited too long. Waited too long. Still, I'll let that stuff just kind of dry out on the top. Yeah, you know, what I'm trying to go for here is to get it to a point. I crushed down those eggs. By the way, when you put eggs in your compost like this, it's not gonna really break down the egg, so to speak. So you're gonna see these little bits of eggshell, which I kind of like. Yeah, but I just kind of crack it up a bit. All right, that'll be good. So we're getting the fungus going, we're getting the bacteria going, we're getting the heat going in this compost. And if we do it right, we're going to have an incredible, this is the world's best fertilizer, compost. And it's infused with chicken manure. Infused with chicken manure constantly. So it's got lots of carbon in it, but it's also got a lot of high nutrient manure. Now, if you watch the video we did the other night, we took some of these mangoes that are growing out of the side of the compost bin, because we threw a lot of rotten mangoes in there and several of them sprouted out of the sides. And I might take those and plant them as well, but I wanted to give you just a quick update on how those transplanted mangoes did. Oh yeah, we'll go take a look. Hey Brian, we'll take a look at the Soursop trees. Here are the transplanted mangoes. You can see they're doing just fine. This one tilted over, but it's still alive. I'm not worried about the tilt. This was one I had already planted, but the one behind it, doing just fine. You know, I'm looking for wilt on the leaves. They've all taken. So that's mango rootstock. When they get to a certain size, I'm going to graft on Tommy Atkins branches, which is a very hardy type of mango. And I might also take a trip down to Sebastian, to one of my favorite little nurseries down there, and see what they've got. I was cautioned that I did get the saying there, I think we have enough trees, and I cannot argue with that. I think I do have enough trees, yet I think I may not have enough mango trees. Hey there, Treasure Outdoors, good to see you on the stream. So yeah, apple trees and so on don't grow that well around here, that's for sure. There are a couple tropical, subtropical varieties of apple trees. And yeah, and I've tried to grow them. There's one called the Ein Shamir apple, but they just don't grow that well in my area, so I don't even try. So looking at the Soursop, this Soursop had early looked good, but it's kind of failed after it started to get the longer term effect of the salt water on it. And then the roots never really increased enough to stabilize it, and it started to fall over in the wind. So I got this spike, and actually should probably tie it up here as well, but I think it's recovering enough now. I'm only wanting this one to be good enough to get above the salt spray and then start to thrive. If you look at this one, that gets less salt spray from the sprinklers, it's doing much better. It also gets less sun. But the Soursop, it's survived. I'm glad I bought 2. I should have bought 3. That was my mistake there. The cherimoya tree, though, by the way. The cherimoya tree is doing quite well, and I'm glad to see it. It almost had, like, you could maybe see a leaf borer type pattern on the stem. I only noticed after I bought it, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the new growth, which is where the big problem would happen. So, you know, hopefully this one's going to grow up and up. And I can tell you, if I saw a canistel, you know, the eggplant, if I saw one of those down at my favorite little nursery, I think I would almost have to get it. So I've got a neighbor who's growing one. It just looks lush, and they just do so well as soon as you get them in the ground. It's like one of those trees that, you know, they might look so-so in the pot when you buy them at the nursery. It's like a mulberry tree too. You buy it, it's like, it doesn't really look that good. You get it in the ground, whoa, angels sing. Your life is showered with abundance. Yeah, even in Tennessee, no apples. Yeah, I wish I could grow apples. Where I grew up, actually, we had lots of apples. We had about 12 apple trees, different varieties. And they always were very buggy. Like, the apples were always riddled with bug damage, but they were so good. Delicious apples. Of course, they got shovelfuls of organic horse manure around all of them, too. So, you know, we're replicating that here. Look at these little chickens. See that banana pup growing outside the fence, growing outside the wire? Oh, please. Cackle fest. Don't start it. That's much better. But yeah, you can see the pup growing outside of the fence. I'm not sure how well these banana pups are going to do inside the chicken run. You know, they're pretty aggressive with with their composting work. They dig in with their claws all the time, scratching. Oh, peaches and persimmons. Yeah, I've actually had luck with nectarines here in Florida. But again, they do get buggy. They do get wormy here. It's a buggy world. We're better off with these. You know, being in 10A, I figure like I should be growing things that can exist in tropical conditions, realizing I'm on the northern end of it, so I might get burned, so to speak, by the occasional frost, but I really feel an obligation to respect the tropical thing. You know, something I really want to get, by the way, if anybody on the stream or anybody watching this video in the future has access to these, I would love to maybe trade for some seeds, and that's the ice cream bean. And I think it might have been Palm Nation or one of the others that told me about the ice cream bean. But I would love to get ice cream beans to grow back here. I would plant them and grow them for sure on the channel. And then it was the Rollinia. Was that the name of it? Rollinia? That was the other plant that I'm very curious about. And one of the subscribers mentioned it. Yeah, the yellow slimy worms. Yeah, exactly. They get inside the fruit. So it's really disturbing actually to bite into a ripe, delicious nectarine and then look at it and realize it's writhing with these worms. Ice cream banana, not bean. No, there's an ice cream bean. Ice cream bean. Beans that have like a thing around the outside of it that tastes like ice cream a little. I guess like these chocolate pudding fruit. Tastes like chocolate pudding. It's getting there. But my banana grove, speaking of bananas, my new banana grove, I've realized I don't have enough. My principle, if you watch the channel, you know, is plant more often. If you want a banana grove, you got to plant a banana grove, not just one or two bananas. So, you know, I've got the Cavendish crank in here, and they got crushed by a branch, but that's a whole nother story. They'll come right back. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new banana plants back here. Yeah, they really are. They should be an addiction if you're doing it right, because they just produce so much fruit. I'm still letting that one ripen. I might let one of those go to yellow before I harvest that one, but what I want to do is get to a place of nonstop production. This one in the back here, which has been growing for a year or so, is doing very well. I'll be harvesting off of that soon. But I realized I could plant probably 1, 2, 3 more in here to really complete this grove, and then I'm yeah, they really are satisfying to grow treasure outdoors. They really are. And you need to have a banana grove if you're in my situation. There's really few alternatives that make sense outside of that. I'm hoping this Edward mango can do something this year. This is one of those mango trees, I don't know if you've ever had one like this, but where you put your time, your energy, your love into it, and it just lets you down every single time. So it's never fruited. I'm hoping this year it will. We're gonna keep with it. Have I ever grown the red bananas, Brian? No, I haven't. The red bananas. I actually saw at Lowe's, though. I'm gonna get out of the sun. I actually saw at Lowe's they had, maybe you can help me with this. They had a type called, and it was in the fruit section, but that doesn't mean anything. Red Monrovia bananas, banana plants. And I was a little bit skeptical that they produced fruit just because I'm not familiar with that, but I was gonna look it up on the internet, never did. Red Monrovia bananas. Monrovian bananas, I think is what they were called. Looked really cool. In fact, there were a few healthy specimens over there I would actually go buy probably. I don't know how much they were, but just to have it, because it would be a new thing for me. I need to make sure they produce fruit first, because I don't really want any ornamental bananas, even if they are red. Now I have high hopes for this thing. This is hey Gerald Franz, good to see you. EB Nation, alive and well, we're doing it right now. This is the Generi fig that I planted, and it's starting to want to do something again. Again, I say this a lot, but you know, have faith. And you know, the chickens are chomping at this thing whenever they can as well, because who doesn't love fig leaves? But the fig is all about the roots. It's all about the roots. If you've ever tried to transplant a large fig tree, you probably realize it's almost impossible. They almost always die. They have such elaborate root systems that just go so far in the ground. It's actually a relative of the ficus. It's a type of ficus, the fig. So its roots are huge when it gets older. I believe what it's doing now when I first plant these little fig trees is it's growing up its roots. I never expect it to do much until it's got its roots in place, and then when it's got its roots, it'll just jump up. But this one is touted for being gigantic fruit, Generi fig, so it's supposed to be the size of tennis balls. We'll see how that goes, but I believe it's going to happen. And you know why? Well, I'm just really focusing on soil health and nutrition on the base of this. I've been giving it, see that's residue of bunny manure. I'm giving it worm team bunny manure like crazy. Gave it the micronutrients from an artificial granular that I got, but I'm going to start to give it the biochar. By the way, I think I might do, I was thinking of doing a live stream, a biochar live stream. Oops. Where we burn the branches that I've collected and haven't already chopped up with a hand chopper into the compost to make biochar. Yes, Treasure Outdoors. I would love you. I hope you'll tell me when that live stream is. But I'm subscribed to your channel, so I should get the notification. But yeah, you should do a live stream of the garden. I would love to come see your garden. I think that's pretty. I saw that mulberry cutting video you did. I was like, man, this dude knows what's up. Yeah, it takes a certain type of person to grow 20 mulberry trees at a time. You're doing the right thing, as far as I'm concerned, if that's where you're operating. Hey, Sarah Stroud, good to see you. Oh, how did my Croton seeds make out? Thank you for asking. That's an old, Sarah, that's a very astute observation, in my opinion. The growing Crotons from seed is just a cool little hack for me. It's the art and the science of doing things. That's the art of it, to be able to do stuff like that. I grew Crotons from seeds on a number of different Crotons. And I'll show you this plant I got this seed from, but just to give you an example, this is one of them. This is from the What You Got Growing On series that I did, where I planted the Croton seeds. And then I put it in this location. And again, I'm not worrying about tight plantings here because I'm giving it tons of nutrients all the time. And look at how it's thriving. Isn't that beautiful? Man, I don't think you should miss out on growing Crotons. Just if you look in this area, look at the interest that it brings. That gold fleck Croton, gold dust Croton. And then if you grow them in the shade, if you grow them outside of, in part sun, the leaf patterns get much more interesting, in my opinion, and they just start to get really beautiful. I mean, look at this. I just intersperse them everywhere. Oh, Gerald Franz, you have ice cream beans. Do you have an ice cream bean plant? But you don't have the beans, I guess, because it never gets to fruit. Yeah, so grew pretty well, I think, from seed, actually. And there are a number more seeds. It takes a mature Croton to be at seed, but I believe you have variability when you plant the seed, and therefore, who knows, maybe you come up with your own variety of Croton. Look at this. Let's plant some Croton seeds. Two good ones. I like this one. This is the one that one that we just looked at came from. But it has the tendency to do things like this, which is do that oak leaf pattern. Yeah, I had wondered if they germinated well, and of course I answered the question just through experimentation, which is, yeah, they do. They just don't produce a lot of seeds. I mean, that's not a lot. And I'm looking all around the outside of this thing, and I don't see a lot more. Of course, if I hit it at a different time, it'd probably be better. I think I'm going to go ahead and, just so you get a picture of the variability in the leaves. I bought a pot with like 5 Crotons that were growing in it at Walmart or something, Lowe's or whatever, and then I separated them, and this was one that had very little of the gold fleck in it. So, you know, there's the variability, right? Even variability in cuttings. But I'm gonna just plant that down in there. See if we can get it growing. Oh, hey, little chicken hen. Hey, little hen. Thanks for those 5 eggs today. Yeah, I've got to pick these palm seeds. I have dwarf date palms that are seeded very nicely. Look, that's our that is our family fun spot in the evenings. Jack and I were out here petting rabbits last night and feeding chickens mealworms. Ah! Oops. Well, you get the idea. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, we can go to the beach after. Yeah. All right. I'll end the live stream and we'll head on out. All right. Well, got to cut it short, but yeah, the miniature date palm. Those are actually edibles. Did a whole video about these. These are great ones to grow. Just a quick tip: always pick them when they're wrinkly, like that. You can eat them when they're wrinkly like that too. I'll just throw them in there. That's one great way to plant palm seeds. Just get a bowl full and throw them. And what you'll find is, in tropical areas like this, even the coconut grows that way. You know, I'll give you a prime example. Listen, sprouting a coconut, right here. Just lay it on the ground, and it'll usually just attach. And then you get something like this. By the way, check out my coconut video if you're interested in growing a dwarf coconut tree. I've enjoyed doing that. Got 4 of them now. So thank you for watching the live stream, being part of it. Everybody who jumped on, I appreciate it. A lot of the EB community in the house today, which is always fun. I'm going to live stream tomorrow morning, Sunday. Got something fun planned there. I might do the biochar live stream this evening. Not sure. Get the bunnies out, get the hens out, playing together. That's always fun. All right, thanks for watching. Eat Your Backyard.